Okay, hey y'all, I'm back. This is video number 2 for the night. So like I said, I told my husband, if you did not watch the first video, please watch the first video. I told my husband, hey, I haven't menstruated, so I'm going to take a test. If it does not come back home, if I haven't had a period by this date. The date that I told him was December 18th. I know that for a fact. So December 18th was a Sunday. We were in church, and it was snowing here where we're stationed, just lightly snowing. And I told him, I said, before we left church, I said, hey, when we leave, because we were going to get some snow salt and get a couple of other things, I told him, I said, hey, we're going to stop to the dollar store and just get a test. And he was like, huh? I said, remember, I told you if I hadn't seen any red or anything by today, we was just going to take a test. And I knew that the dollar store pregnancy test works because when we were pregnant with our IUI, which I talked about that in my last video, it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. We already knew we were technically pregnant, so we just went and got like a little cheap 99-cent test so we'll have like a home test for our records. So my husband got 2 tests, and y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, like I came home, it's like as soon as I walked in the house, I had to pee. I'm talking about, oh my God, I had to pee. So I came home, I took both the tests in the bathroom, and I was literally in la la land. Like I was not thinking I'm taking pregnancy tests because I didn't think it was gonna say anything. I didn't. So I'm in the bathroom, and I still laugh to this day because it's funny, because I was in the bathroom literally like singing to myself, thinking about, jokes that me and my husband was cutting on each other while we was in the car when we left church, when we was running our errands. I mean, my mind, pregnancy was the least thing from my mind. But I had noticed this one thing. I had noticed like the week before, I honestly thought my period was about to get ready to come on, because I had kind of started hurting a little bit. And I was bloated. I was like, why am I so bloated? Like, I don't get bloated like that. Like, I normally don't bloat when it's time for my period. I know that's kind of, a lot of women say they bloat. I normally don't. So anyways, needless to say, I was in the bathroom, seriously. And, most tests say wait 3 minutes. I, did the little dropper thing. And as soon as I put the drop in the little thingy, within 15 seconds, it reacted. And I was like, I'm tripping. Hold on, I'm tripping. The heater's coming back on. It came on in my last video, so I apologize, but y'all, it's cold. It was 7 degrees here this morning, so we got to stay warm because I can't get sick. So, anyways, so it reacted, and I'm looking at the test like, maybe this is the control. And the test that we actually got, the test part reacts first, or I guess if you're not that far along or something, but I guess because I was pregnant, that test it reacted so quick, and so I was like, oh my God. I started shaking, and I'm like, I know I'm tripping. I'm not looking at this right. So he had actually got 2 tests. And so I took the next test, and just same thing. As soon as I put the pee on the thing, within like literally 15 seconds, it reacted, and I lost it. I fell to pieces. I was boohoo crying. I'm sitting on the toilet, boohoo crying. My husband comes in the bathroom, and he's like, and I was like, we're pregnant. And he was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. I'm sorry if you're not a person of faith. I am, so I'm not gonna apologize for my faith. So we just started praising God. My mother-in-law was here because, like I said in my last video, my brother-in-law died suddenly, and she came back after the funeral. I didn't say this part. She did come back to be with us for a few weeks. So she was like, okay, that's good. So of course we're calling the doctor's office for, number one, to get our deposit back for our IUI that we had scheduled for February. We wanted to get our deposit back. Plus, since we go to a fertility clinic, they go by blood test. So of course we went, and they were like, well, you took a home test, but we have to do your blood work because just like last time, something, anything can go wrong, which did get me kind of bummed. out. It did. But my husband was like, babe, you have to remember, this is a business for them. So they, he was like, this ain't the church, this ain't family. They gonna give it to you raw, no chaser. So, they told me, they was like, don't start to take any medicine, any of the extra hormones and stuff, until we get your blood work. So later on that day, she called me and she said, yeah, you're definitely pregnant. That was the first thing she said. And I'm like, okay. She was like, we want you to go ahead and start taking the pills. But I had already told my doctor that the hormone, the estrogen patches, I had already told him that I was not getting on those again, period, because of my reaction. And after researching, some women, like, you have a very negative reaction, like an allergic reaction, and I know that's what I had, because even after my our miscarriage, our ectopic pregnancy, and I had stopped putting those patches on my stomach, it took weeks, like a month, for the skin coloration to come back in my stomach. So I had already told them, look, I'm willing to do the inserts, all these extra hormones, but as far as the patches, that's a no. So basically, I'm on all of my same medications, because I do go to a fertility clinic. They still have you on extra hormones, because even though it happened on its own and God did it, this time, which I'm just so thankful for. I cry every time I think about that, the power of God, in prayer. But they still, want you, on the safe side, just to take the extra hormones, which I don't have a problem with. I have a schedule down packed. Most of them, my medicine I take once a day, and 3 things I do 3 times a day. Early symptoms. So right now, as I'm doing this video, we are 9.5, might as well say 9.5, almost 10 weeks, which I am like, when we scheduled, now when we went to the doctor's appointment for the blood test, that was December the 22nd. I wrote everything down because I am like keeping a pregnancy journal. It was December 22nd, and they scheduled our first ultrasound for January 4th, 2017. And I'm not gonna lie, at first, I was like, God did it. I was so upbeat, but every single day, once we came back and January hit, every day, like the 2nd, the 3rd, like I had a knot in my stomach, because when you've gone through an ectopic pregnancy and you've been trying to get pregnant for years, you still have that little bit of fear. So the heater just went off. So also you might hear the dryer, which I'm going to talk about that. The morning of January 4th, we went, which ironically was our last due date, if I'm not mistaken, for our first pregnancy. That was actually our due date, ironically. So we went. They did my blood work. I was crying at that point. They told me, go to the bathroom, empty your bladder. I was crying. The lady who was doing the ultrasound, she came in, after they tell you to get undressed, and she was like, are you okay? And she was like, and I almost couldn't talk. And so my husband was talking for me, and he was like, well, because of what happened last time, she's just really nervous and she's really scared. Y'all, when they put the probe thingy in me, I saw something on the screen, but I was like, I'm not going to jump to no conclusions until this lady says this is what it is. And as soon as she put it in, within like a couple of seconds, she said, well, there's the baby. And I lost it again. And I'm so thankful that the lady, was not offended or anything. I am, because I just started praising God. And I was just crying. Then she let us hear the heartbeat. Y'all, that was like one of the, I know it's so cliche, but that was like one of the best sounds I have ever heard in my life. So what's going on now? I have another appointment coming up. So my appointment, like right now, my appointments are weekly because it's fertility, but eventually it's gonna, kind of go out a little bit. The reason I said I'm gonna talk about the dryer, the hardest thing for me so far, because I do not work, I am stay at home, has been adjusting, because this has not been an easy pregnancy in any way. Like my bishop told me today, I thank God for everything morning sickness. The morning sickness has been so bad that actually lost weight. In a 2 week span, I lost like 7-8 pounds because the morning sickness was so bad. They did give me 2 prescriptions, because, and I know this sounds bad too, and I'm about to wrap this video up. I got like another 2 minutes. But one of the things that I noticed immediately was the morning sickness. It's weird because it's like as soon as I took that pregnancy test on the 18th, and even more on the 22nd when they did that blood test, it's like my mind said, okay, you know you're pregnant, and my body just said, okay, well, we're gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink at you, because my pregnancy symptoms just got so bad. I did have very early signs that I was pregnant, because just like last time, my breasts started to hurt. Like, my breasts are large, my nipples are large, I'm not ashamed to say that, and it felt like every day, it felt like somebody was stabbing me. And then I was hot. I mean, we are in the, we were in wintertime. We were in wintertime, but I was hot. So that kind of, before I even took the test, I'm like, can my husband be right? And I did not tell him at the time, but I was actually researching a little bit, like, oh God, I think I'm pregnant because of those symptoms. I do know that every symptom that I was feeling because of my body. And that's something else that made me feel more positive about this pregnancy, because the last pregnancy, the ectopic pregnancy, I feel like a lot of the symptoms that I had was because of the extra hormones that I had. I only had symptoms kind of sort of associated with those hormones. I did not have like nausea and stuff like that. This pregnancy, the nausea has been real. The heartburn has been real. I am now venturing into the nightmare of constipation. And I want to make videos. I want to tell the truth. Okay, I'm going to talk about stuff that people didn't tell me, because I honestly only knew one person who had to have a spit cup, and I was just shocked by that. I didn't know that was a thing. The phlegm that I said I felt in the back of my throat. I actually was on YouTube, and I kept looking and finally found a video of another lady who said, nobody tells you this, but you do get like something in the back of your throat, like phlegm almost. Thank God that went away. The spitting, I actually had to have 2 spit cups. Yeah. I had to have one that was designated for the car, and I had to have one that was designated for the house. The spitting has kind of sort of, it has slowed down a lot. Cravings, I don't have cravings for anything. I'm not craving anything. The first pregnancy, the ectopic pregnancy, I craved sour. I'm talking about this, more sour, the pickle, the better. Like, I cried one time because I bought the wrong pickles. I cried. This time, I'm not craving nothing. And my mother ate pickles her entire pregnancy with both myself and both of my brothers. So we grew up on pickles. Me and my brothers, all 3 of us love pickles. So I still love pickles. It's just I don't have a craving for them. I actually have to make myself eat them and suffer the consequences, because they kind of give me heartburn. I love cucumbers and vinegar, heartburn. Any kind of juice, like I'm trying to pick and choose. This is pretty much my go-to, because any kind of juice, like everything is giving me heartburn. Thankfully, some of the stuff, because I'm kind of sort of at the end. I'm kind of sort of, some stuff is kind of slacking up, which I'm researching everything that's normal. For stuff to start to slack up now. At first, saltine crackers were not helping me, but eventually I stuck with them. Ginger candy kind of helped, kind of didn't. I threw up. I had to have my husband pull off on the side of the road with ginger. So that's all for this video. So basically, like I said, I'm 9 weeks, a few days. I go to the doctor again tomorrow. I'm calling the baby my little jelly bean. No, excuse me, my gummy bear. But as always, I do thank y'all for watching. And this is what my channel is going to be about. It's going to be about being pregnant and relocating with the military, being an Army wife. Thank y'all for listening.